Hello my friends, welcome back again. I'm welcoming you back again. Today we are going to talk about the G7 chord. The G7 chord, we are done with the C chord. Now we are looking at the G7 chord. Remember, G is a fifth above C, so we are going to talk about that. We are going to talk about the G7 chord, which notes form the G7 chord, how do we voice the G7 chord simply to accompany a song. So the G7 chord in the C5 finger position, the G7 chord in the C5 finger position, the G7 chord is built on degree 5. In the C5 finger position, the G7 chord is built on degree 5. Remember, we have degree 1, we have degree 2, we have degree 3, we have degree 4 and 5, then 6, then 7, then back to 1. So the G7 chord in the key of C will be found at the 5th degree. So that's why I'm saying the G7 chord is built on degree 5, which is G itself. So G is found on the 5th degree of the C scale, major scale. Then G is called the dominant note. Then a G7 chord is also called the dominant 7. A G7 chord is also called the dominant 7. So you can either call it G7 or you can call it a dominant 7th chord. Then, okay, it's also called a dominant 7th chord or a 5/7 chord. So you can call it a dominant 7th chord or a 5/7 chord. There are 4 notes in the complete G7 chord, which is G itself, then we have B, then we have D, and then we have F. So there are 4 notes in the complete G7 chord. Then G is the root of the G7 chord. Remember, we said the root gives us the name of the chord. So whenever the root is mentioned, so you know that that is the name of the chord. Like C root will give us C chord major, then it can be major or minor, it can be C major or C minor, it can be maybe augmented or diminished. So the root will always give us the name of the chord. So G is the root of the G7 chord. The number 7 means the F is 7 tones above 7 tones above G. Then E, for ease in accompanying at the introductory level, in this beginner level, I'm saying we are going to omit the G note when we are playing in our left hand, and we will use just B, F, and G. The 3, the 3rd, the 7th, and the root. So we will omit the what? The D. So we'll use B, F, and G. For ease in accompanying at this introductory level, we may use only 3 notes of the G chord. I'm going to demonstrate this on the piano. So the notes which will form this G7 chord is G itself, B, D, and F. Okay, so G, which is the root, then B, which is our 3rd, then D is our 5th, then F is the 7th. Why is it called 7th? It's because F is the 7th away from the G. It's the 7th away from the G. let's see how. We have G, B, E, F, G, F. Okay, then we have G. Sorry. The G scale, we have G, A, B, C, E, F. Okay, so then we are back at G. So F is the seventh away from this one. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is how the seventh comes in, how it comes in. Okay, this is how F is called a seventh. Why? Because it's a seventh apart from G. In other words, the interval from G to F is a 7. Okay, so let me go to the piano and I demonstrate this chord practically. Yeah, so like I said, we are talking about the G7th chord, and I said you go to the C5 finger position to arrive at the G7. You go to the fifth interval of the C5 finger position. That is C, D, E, F, G. This is our 5, the fifth position. So this is where we find G. Okay, so G, that's why it's called G5, or we call it 5/7. 5/7. Why? Because it's the dominant chord which is built on the degree 5 of the major scale. So in this case, G is built on the 5th degree of C major scale. So this is our first degree of C, second, then third, then fourth, then fifth. Okay, so I said in the C5 finger position, the G7 chord is built on degree 5, which is that G is called the dominant note. Then a G7 chord is also called a dominant 7th chord, or a 5/7 chord, written as V7. That means 5, Roman numeral V, meaning 5s, and then the 7 symbolizes the 7th nature of that chord. There are 4 notes in the complete G7 chord, which is we have G itself, then B, then D, then F. So this forms the G7th chord. I hope you're seeing that. G, B, D, and F. B, G, B, D, and F, making G7th chord. So G is the root of the G7th chord. G is the root. Remember, we talked about the root. The root always gives us the name of the chord. Any chord, it can be C chord. So to get the name of the chord, go to the root position. If they say C major, it means C is at the bottom. C major, C is at the bottom. So you get the name from the root, which is down. The first note, and then this would be our second note, this is our third note. So that is it. The root is always giving us the name of the chord. Okay, and I said the root. What you asking yourself, what is the root? The root is that note at the bottom of the chord. If the chord is not inverted, in this case, this is our C root position. If we invert this chord like this, it will be C first inversion. Therefore, this is not the root position; it's a first inversion. Okay, the root is now taken up. But if you come to the first position, which is our tonic, our 1, the first position, that's where we'll always get the root. Okay, so G is the root of G7. Then the number 7 means that F is 7 tone above G. F is 7 tone above G. So F is 7 tone above G. So this is our G, and F is here. It means F is 7th away from the G note. So let's count and see. This is our first place, our tonic, our second, our third, our fourth, our fifth, our sixth, then seventh. So you see that F is seventh away from the G. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After 6, you arrive at F, which is on the 7th degree. Okay? In this case now, this is a dominant 7th. If it was a major 7th, it would be this. If it was a major 7, it would be the black note for G, which leads us to the 1. But we are talking about dominant. Dominant uses a flat 7, which means that we are flatting the major 7 to get the 7-ish. Okay, so this is how we arrive at G7. Then for ease in accompanying at the introductory level, beginner level, for ease, how do we voice this chord? You will play G7 chord made up of only 3 notes. Just pick 3 notes for now. Okay, as a beginner, you can use only 3 notes. Okay, so this is our G7. So I'm saying just pick 3 notes. You pick the third and the 7th itself and the G itself, and this is how it will appear. Okay, this is how it will look, and that is the sound quality of G7 with the 5th omitted, and this is at the first inversion. Root position is this. At the root we have G on the bottom, but now this chord is giving us B at the bottom, which means it is inverted. We are beginning on the third of the chord, the third. So we omit the 5th and we remain with the third and the 7th and the G itself. So this is how you will voice it. Okay, so that is the sound quality. It sounds jazzy, it sounds nice, it sounds so nice, so beautiful. Okay, now let's go and play this song and we see how this chord will be applied. Okay, so right hand, the same thing, you'll play B, F, and G. Even left hand will be playing the same thing. Okay, so this is how the chord is voiced. Okay, so let's I'm going to play a song called Chord Etude, and it is in a 3/4 time, and the song begins with a broken chord, begins with C broken chord. It's played like that. Okay, this is the song, 3/4 time. So we're beginning with a C chord but broken. We play broken, da 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 da. Then we play the chord as a block chord here, the second bar. Then here again the chord is broken. Here now we are playing, I think, yeah, here is the G now. The G7 chord is appearing here, broken again. Then we play, so it's like we play broken and then we play the chord full. Broken, then you play the chord, broken, then you play the chord. So let me play, and then whenever I arrive at the G7, I will tell you that this is how it is. So it begins. This is still C. Then now for B. This is our G7. You hear the sound. This is the sound of G7. Let me repeat. C major, then G7. That is how it sounds. So let me play the whole song now. Then right hand, C. That is the G7. Hear the sound on the right hand. Okay, after that, then the song goes back to the left hand with the C chord, then back to G7. It's like da da, and not You watch this. When you play the C chord, to play this the G7 smoothly, you will just slide your pinky or your little finger down to hold B like this, and then you move the third finger to F. So it's like you move like this. See? Smoothly, you connect them smoothly from C to G7. Okay, let me repeat the whole song again. One C, G7, then C, right hand, C, G7, C, G7, C. Okay, let me play again. That's the song. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. C, G7, G7, then C again. 2, 3. G7, then C. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I think you've seen our G7. Just we said G7 is formed from the 5th degree of the C 5-finger position. C 5-finger position, you get G at the 5th interval. Then form the G chord by holding G itself, then go to the 3rd of G, then hold the 5th of G, which is D, then the 7th is the F, which is a 7th apart from G if you count. Okay, then I've said that you can voice this chord. You can voice this chord. You make this chord simple by voicing it just by holding the 3rd, and then you hold the 7th, and then you hold the note itself, which is G, instead of playing the 4 notes all together at the same time. So you reduce the chord by eliminating or by omitting the 5th, which is D, and you just hold it as B, F, and G. It sounds nice. Now, if you're playing a song like Oh, God is good, oh, God is good. You see, hear the sound of G7. See? G7, B, F, and G. F. That is the sound of the G7 chord. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. Please continue sharing these videos, continue liking, continue commenting, continue watching my videos, and I'll still bring more still coming. So I'll see you again in the next video. God bless you.